Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Max again. We're now playing Nightmare Edition. Well, sort of Nightmare Edition. Left 4 Dead 2. This is just a free build, basically. Or I guess the snowy version build of the same mod pack. So we'll be showcasing this a little bit today while just kind of just talking about random stuff. So yeah, I just posted a video not too long ago, at least. Just kind of just talking about things going on in life and all that. But one thing I would like to definitely note is that I definitely do miss like just kind of just sitting here talking or whatever. Like that is disturbing. Yeah, that is a ugly mother trucker right there, dude. Holy frick. But yeah, we're just gonna be relaxing, just playing a little bit of this, and yeah. So hopefully everybody's doing great. Firstly, for me, just been discovering a lot of different things about myself lately, especially when it comes to, oh, what the fudge. Yeah, frick you, buddy. Discovering a lot of things about myself as of recent with life and just actions. I'm kind of curious, but I wonder if a lot of my viewers kind of have some type of like neurodivergence. The reason I'm saying that is because I've been kind of diving into that more lately. I'm just kind of, oh frick, okay. Yeah, this is a bit broken, and I just died. Okay, alright. I guess not everyone's gonna be decent. But I've been diving more into kind of the neurodivergence realm of things. I'm kind of just getting to understand myself better when it comes to like my mindset, like how my mind works, things of that nature. And the reason why I say that is because I've always been kind of curious in these particular areas. Excuse me. Been very curious in these oh my god. Alright, been very curious in these particular areas when it comes to like understanding my own mind. And I noticed a lot of my friends, online friends, I don't have any IRL friends, but a lot of my online friends do have some type of neurodivergence, which I find it quite interesting. I do tend to get along with them way easier than a lot of normal people who don't suffer from the same, I guess, fates, I guess. So it kind of makes me curious about myself. I've never been truly diagnosed with anything quite yet. At least as far as my knowledge, I would like to, but I kind of live in an environment where I'm not really able to, per se. I would say able to, but it's not very lit positively on. But yeah, it's something that I've honestly been extremely curious about and wanting to kind of like learn more about myself. And also so I can have a better understanding of like who I am as a person. Because I find myself still struggling a lot of the time. Like trying to understand like my own life. And I know we're not going to be able to do 100%. And I know that's kind of a factor as well. But I really want to know, you know? Oh, shoot. Alright. Second time I died. I did not see the witch there. Okay. Alright. Gotta like him. But frick, man, where was I at? Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's just out of, honestly, it's really out of honest curiosity of wanting to be better. And I constantly just want to be able to self-improve like a lot and not be, have a victim mindset, rather have a more of an expansive mindset, because we don't really choose to be victims, of certain things in our childhoods or anything like that. We just be like that. However, you shouldn't stay like that forever, you shouldn't stay in the same place forever, or else as a human, how else are you gonna really, grow to, achieve like great things? And I think a lot of people miss that. especially when it comes to like their mental issues, things like that. And I know a lot of mental issues can like be very difficult at times. As somebody who struggles with them myself, um, you have to be patient with yourself in these regards of your life and understand yourself better. I hear that freaking jockey, bro. That goofy ass. But yeah, like I said, somebody who suffers from mental illness as well, I choose not to stay in the same mindset. Which that reminds me, like, one thing that... Are you serious again? What the frick? Yo, the witch kills others? Damn. I didn't know the witch. Gosh dang, this witches in this mod is crazy. But, yeah, it's just like, especially with therapy, like, kind of just understanding myself more, better in a sense of having a better toolkit. I don't think therapy is essentially like a fix to a lot of your problems. I think it's just a guide to have a better tool set to deal with those set problems, and then you learn to fix them on those things on your own. So I think that's really where that comes from, just kind of understanding yourself better as a human being and knowing that you're not broken to a point where you can't be fixed. Obviously God's a factor in that. God heals every all, so that's if you want it to go though, you know. A lot of it's really a choice, in a sense. Like, obviously we struggle with different mental issues, disabilities, neurodivergence, things like that, but if you continue to not use your neurodivergence or your superpowers, then you essentially make yourself quite useless if it's a fact. And the tank is beating me up. Alright. Gotta hit the adrenaline. Get that sucker up. Alright, but yeah, if you're not using your like mental issues like superpowers, then essentially you deem yourself as useless in a sense. And when I mean by useless, I mean useless to yourself, not useless to other people. You're always going to be used at some point. But if you actually want to make a difference in this world and see reality that, you know, makes sense, then you have to be willing to actually like put in the work and improve. Because without improvement, life is deemed as kind of like this weird cycle of things. At least that's how I find it as.
Okay, God.
I just killed my own teammates somehow. I'm not sure how, but I did, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that's something that we need to start talking about more in the mental health space, is just to understand, like, we need to keep grinding to be better and not just succumb to our differences or injuries. I'll give you a prime example. A guy that I live next to is literally partially handicapped due to his, I'm not sure what he does, or if he was in the military or what, but this guy has a prosthetic leg, and every single day, dude, he goes and works out. Like, he goes and works out, he still goes on full-blown runs and everything, despite, you know, him missing a whole entire freaking limb. So if you can miss an entire limb and still like grind and still you know, put in the work for things, then, you know, you can essentially do the same thing. But do know that you can't compare yourself to other people. Rather, inspire yourself by the people who have those differences. Essentially, what I mean by those differences, I don't mean by physical differences, but mental, like, strengths and differences. Because you can learn anything from anybody, but you only take so much from what you will that actually makes sense. And you want to be careful of who you definitely learn from, for sure, because if you do learn the wrong information, it can harm you in a way that you don't want to be harmed. So just always be mindful of that as well. It's very important to take care of yourself mentally and physically, and to understand that you only get to choose this life one time, so you might as well make it something great. I think a lot of people use either their trauma or these different things as a crutch rather than an actual superpower. in a sense. That's why therapy, I find it to be extremely important. As somebody who couldn't afford therapy until very recently, I began to understand why therapy is extremely important. It builds your relationships much better. It's basically leveling up your player in a level that's so amazing. Damn, did you go hit? Oh, frick, nobody. But, this Deagle's nice. But, besides that point, yeah, it is extremely important to take care of yourself. It's extremely important to make sure that, you know, you're in God's word every day and all those different things, because you're gonna fall off. And falling off is not really the best thing. And I don't mean like as in physical popularity with other people. I mean falling off as in falling off the charts within yourself and going back to cycles that you clearly don't want to go back to. It's a former addictive towards certain things. I probably can't mention it on YouTube, unfortunately, due to their new, you know, laws and stuff like that. This is not all YouTube, unfortunately. Which this is what I'm trying to bring back. Just old style YouTube, not really much editing, just talking, man, about stuff and playing like 2000s games. But yeah, as a former person who suffers with, like, you know, with that addiction, it needs to be talked about more, how like these addictions can hinder your life entirely or make you feel like you're just nothing, essentially. Obviously there's a certain level of honesty you can only keep on this platform due to people taking that information and misusing it. But for the people who won't misuse it and take it as inspiration and motivation, that's honestly where that really matters. That's why speaking up is really important for other humans who are struggling. There is a way of helping people without being direct, and I feel like this is one way of helping people by making YouTube videos like this about topics that are usually kind of hard to talk about or discuss, or very controversial in that matter. Obviously, everybody's opinion is welcome. The philosophy behind this is basically the basement. Not sure if you guys know who Tim Ross is, but very interesting person, ex-pastor. Has a very interesting philosophy of being in the basement, where you'll be heard, listened to, and have a safe space for vulnerability, you know, emotional vulnerability and things that happen. And essentially the goal is to have everybody not come in agreement, but to hear everybody out and just help each other out as much as you can. Obviously, it's not group therapy, because not everyone's going to have an answer, guaranteed answers for everything. But you want to do as best as you can to achieve the answers for yourself, and by having God on your side to be able to do those things as well. So it's always essential for that. Besides that point, though, do keep in mind that you only live one time, so you might as well just try your best to do the things you want to in life and to explore and make yourself basically the best player you can be, essentially. So, but yeah, no, therapy is extremely important. I think the second thing I would like to kind of dive into is that the like furry fandom, and I know that this is like a complete switch of topic, but this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a minute now. The furry fandom is definitely like the way that it used to be like years ago compared to now. I feel like it's very hard to connect with people now in that space because everybody's very drama based, and I could be wrong because, you know, my personal experience as somebody who is still a furry, but not of, you know, 100% into the fandom anymore like I used to, or involve myself in it. It's very diluted in a way that I feel like everybody's kind of separated. Like nobody's like wanting to be together and have a community in a sense, or everybody's really the same. I feel there's a lot of people who play like with people's personalities and try to just take from them and then like put their own twist on it, but it's not uniquely them. It's just a copy and paste model of them. Basically like AI, I guess. I guess you could say people are becoming more AI. Oh shoot, that was not a good idea. I actually took damage from that, which is crazy. Did not know that could happen. Okay. But essentially what I'm trying to say here is that we've gotten to a point where we're not really being ourselves. Especially in the fandom, that's what I've noticed across the years. It's just like people became less of themselves and more self-absorbed, for all that matter, and just trying to establish like a platform or popularity or things like that. I feel like there's no uniqueness, and I think we need to just start bringing that back. And it's the same thing with like YouTube as well. I feel like we've gotten saturated with a lot of the same kind of very open like videos. And I understand like there's certain demographic of people who want to watch as well. Yeah, I figured I was gonna die there. I should use the deagle. But yeah, I feel like that we're coming to a point in like society and everything else where it's just becoming very very dead, unfortunately. And I wish that people would kind of just start realizing more that we don't have to be a certain way, and that it's okay to be yourself. Within regulations, of course. Be yourself, as in be the best version of yourself, not the worst version of yourself. And I think that's another issue that we're just having right now, is that everybody just wants to be a victim, not a leader. We need to become less of a victim, be more of a leader for others. We're teaching other people not to like have any like self-independence or anything. And as a person who used to like be like constantly like wanting friends, now I'm in a season of my life where I don't really have any friends at all. It's very empty now. I don't mean by empty, I mean just very not much going on, and I think that's okay to not have much going on. It's okay to have a boring, life. A boring life is a blessed life, honestly. Less problems, less people to interact with, Now, I'm not saying don't isolate yourself, but make sure you have company where the company is so good you don't need any more people to join. That inner circle is what I would like to call it. Your inner circle is very sacred, and your outer circle are just people that are there but not really involved like with your actual personal life. So I think that's something that we need to talk about more, is just kind of
down that hole.
being more involved into your life and not just letting like the things happen in your life make you a victim of like your pain, trauma, differences, all those different things as well. Because I do find it quite frustrating that we've gotten to a point where we're just letting things just like keep us down in the pain and suffering, and not just learning to adapt and overcome these things as well. But I think that's enough I want to yak about today. Yeah, I think that's enough I just want to yak about today. So I hope everybody has a great day, blessed day as well. And for the next video, not sure what we're gonna talk about, because honestly, I don't even have like titles for these videos. I kind of just like whatever word that fits for the video at the time. That's what I make like the content based on, I guess. So my last video was like ethics, just kind of explaining like where I've been at in bits and pieces of updates, and kind of just taking this new direction, or I would say new direction, but rather just going back to like just not overthinking, just kind of making videos like I first started, which was just me talking in front of well, a mic, not a camera, because I don't have a camera on me, not yet at least, but kind of just talking about topics that either people don't really talk about, stray away from because it's uncomfortable, or just like hopefully giving me different insights on things, and also just from personal experience. I don't give advice on things that I haven't gone through or am currently going through. I feel like it's an oxymoron in a sense. I wouldn't take advice from somebody that hasn't made like $100 million. Like if I want to make $100 million, I want to take advice from somebody who has made $100 million, or somebody who hasn't. I think just little things like that. So yeah, I hope everybody has a blessed and wonderful, day / week, month, year, whatever floats your boat, dude. I'm getting a break now. But yeah, if I will see you guys in the next video. This is Max, and I'm out, did.